This is my hardcore Minecraft world. We have spent over 400 days transforming this adorable little, now pink, village, as well as the surrounding area. Today, you are joining us for some more work on the details within the village. And I think those details are going to need to be the rest of the transformation. We gotta do something about those two houses there and get these villagers some actual homes. So I'm thinking, this house here could be special. Since it's next to this wheat field here, I've been leaning towards this one being a bakery for the villagers. Of course, we're gonna have to fix up a lot of things on this little platform. And then we have this house over here, which I'm thinking this can probably just be a regular old villager house. We may have to move the staircase out by just a block here so that we can make a little bit of a wider path to get over to it, but that shouldn't be any trouble. For now, let's begin with a bit of demolition. These houses have got to go out with the old and in with the new. Nice, okay, this left kind of a big hole here, so let's fill it in. And now we've just got to adjust this stairwell out by one block to give us more of a pathway where the villagers won't be able to fall off. And while I'm here, let's fix up a bit more of the terraforming. This area is just so awkward. So is this area. What is this? This actually cleaned up pretty nicely. So now it's time for the awkward task of trying to figure out how to squeeze a building in here. I'm gonna start with the foundation like I usually do, but I think I'm gonna need a couple of different layered structures to really make this work. Maybe a little hut like that could kind of work. It's gonna be awkward, but I think I got this. The nice thing about this structure being nestled up against this cliff is I can actually break down this back wall and have the interior be much bigger than what it looks like from the exterior. So it looks like a tiny hut, but it should be able to house several villagers. I really like that, but now we have the issue of figuring out... But why are my fishermen? Okay, I'll have to figure out the fishermen, and also I have to figure out how this actually connects to that upper level. This is gonna get a bit weird. That's probably not that bad. We can put a chimney in it right here, and hopefully that'll help bridge the gap between the stone brick and the actual structure. Yeah. I actually think this has got a lot of potential. It is gonna need a door, though. I think, because they're villagers, our door should probably be down on the ground level. That's gonna make this a little bit awkward, but hopefully I can make it work. It didn't take long for the tiny little hut to shape up. I was following the basic design that I had done so many times before in this village, keeping with the exact same color scheme and pretty much the same shape. After figuring out a slightly bigger interior, installing a door and a window, we were ready to move some villagers in. Now, who's gonna live here? Who's homeless? Who's homeless? I think the fishermen that are wandering around do have a bed in that hut down there. They just don't like using it. I do have a Fletcher here, so perhaps my Fletcher could finally have a little house down there. Oh, I do like having this here. We can move your bed into there. The Fletcher and the stonemason, they shall live together. Let's just pop this in here so he knows where to come to work. Gonna need to get some fences here as well. Bed for the villagers, and some fences so that the fishermen stop doing that. Stop it. You're making me nervous. We do have this little area over here, which could become another structure, or it could maybe just be a garden for them. Hold on. This requires an aerial perspective. Yeah. You know what? I think that's the perfect spot for a garden, actually. I really don't want this village to be of the farming type. Like, the exports that this village gets is mostly from the surrounding areas, but that definitely doesn't mean that they can't have their own little, like, personal farms here. This is basically an area, I guess, that I want the Fletcher to kind of pretend that he's working at, even though obviously the farmers are going to be the ones that come here and tend to this. Just a tiny little extra decoration. I think we'll have them growing some carrots. And of course, we polish it off with a couple of leaves. Just kind of makes everything better. All right, adding that little garden there has made it much easier for me to justify this one. This one's gotta go. The villagers aren't really using it anyways because I took away all of the composters and moved them up there. So this is just a big waste of space, I guess. This area is directly under my cartography tower, so I think there's something much more creative we can do with this space. Alright, with that out of the way, it's time to transform the second structure, and this is the one that I want to make into a bakery. Before I do that though, I think I want a path right here. When I originally built this tower, I said I was going to have two paths, this one and then a more direct one, but I never actually did the more direct one. And we definitely need that because right now it's a little bit difficult to get all the way up here. The thing is, I don't want to line it up with that one because that'll be a little bit too symmetrical. I'm thinking from here is probably a better angle to come at things. I'm gonna start by just marking it out with some terraforming to see what it would generally look like. Right, there it is, and I think that's actually pretty good. It's not perfectly lined up with the staircase, but it does flow nicely and give me a very wide slot for this bakery and whatever I'm gonna do under the tower. May seem like small stuff, but I feel like the flow of the village is really important. I mean, we have actual villagers walking around and their safety is difficult enough without there being random paths to nowhere. All right, there we go. Big steep staircase all the way down to the center of the village. Okay, that's enough delaying. It is finally time to work on the main event of this episode, the bakery to be. And of course, the first step of that is to take down this villager house. And I suppose we're probably also going to have to relocate, yeah, the villagers that sleep in here. Oh, it's okay though. Don't worry, fisherman. I will just add another bed to the fishing hut down here and also another bed to the one that we just created up there. There we go. Now we have 2 people sleeping in here and 2 people sleeping in the fishing hut down below. Ooh, this lightning pole is also gonna have to go, but I'm gonna definitely need to relocate that. I mean, we have a lot of villagers here and we get lightning fairly frequently. I do have one right there though, so that should protect them for now. This feels a little bittersweet. This is one of the final villager structures that is in this village. I mean, it's gone. I did it. Now, all I have to do is put away a ton of this oak wood that we just received. Also the glass and the random cobblestone. Oh, not in that chest though. Let's keep it organized. I don't really know what exactly needs to happen to the terraforming here, but I do know that this is a mess. It's not quite right. All right, the next step is to plan out the actual bakery structure. I know I want to have it very close to this edge, and we haven't really worked on this retaining wall yet. So let's just put in a couple of marker pillars, and we want them to be all odd numbers. So that's a space of 5, and then maybe we'll space by 3 going this way. I don't know how far under that I want to go, but I feel like that's probably fine. A classic L shape. I feel like that'll do pretty good. In this corner right here, we could potentially mark out a little area where they could be selling outside. Maybe we can have seats outside along the path here, as though people are getting some bread from the bakery and sitting out and having tea or coffee or something. Could be a cool little story to tell. I think in villages, it's really important to add as many details as you can while also thinking about the villagers. So I'm going to try to build this in a way where the farmer villagers can actually interact with the bakery. And actually, the more I think about this, the more that probably means that this front area here shouldn't be stone foundation. It should probably be wooden and be something where the villagers can walk in on ground level. Yeah, that feels like a pretty good footprint so far. Now the next thing that I want to do before I do more bakery work is actually fix up this wall here. And I'm sorry, kitty, you gotta move a little bit more into the market. Come on, over here. Yep, that'll do. Let me just push you in out of the rain. Perfect. So I think I need this wall here to actually be a bit more of a retaining wall and match what's going on the other side. I'm not sure exactly how I want to do that, but something definitely needs to happen to give this a more stable look. And this will also stop the villagers from being able to climb up here and potentially hurt themselves. It's not not perfect, but it's certainly better than it was, and it gives me a much better idea of how this terrain here is gonna match up. So now we have this whole area back here that we didn't really have before, and it allows me to make this structure into something that's gonna face this way, which I think will be quite nice since everything at the moment, if the villagers are interacting with it, will be on this side, which is a little harder to see from a distance. I feel like I'm always trying to think of the sight lines of a build while I'm doing this, and it is kind of important. If I'm not going to build anything giant here, then I need all of these similarly sized structures to not just outcompete each other. Now it's time for the roofline, and the trickiest part is gonna be how it interacts with this. So basically, I'm just gonna build it up here and see what it looks like. And if it looks dumb, we'll try something else. It really is that simple. I will say from here, although I don't normally enjoy things interacting like this, I don't hate that too much. And from a distance as we're flying in, this definitely fills up a gap here that was needed. So I think I'm gonna keep it. As weird as that is, I think I can smooth this out with a bit more stone and make it look firmer in where it stands. And it'll look totally fine next to the bakery. Now I'm working out how the other roof lines are going to interact, so I have a little one made out of slabs there, and another one over here, which I'm just gonna do a basic staircase straight up, and hopefully this will just help break up some of the different angles. I think builds in a village just look a bit fancier when there's more roofs going everywhere. I'm kind of tempted right here to take this roof and go upwards with it like this. And then we'll get maybe a second cool roof shape here, but I don't know if it's actually gonna look good. It's kind of a trial and error type of situation. Gonna need a bunch more stairs in order to properly do this though. I don't know if that's gonna look interesting or just silly. Yeah, I mean, they're off center, it's not symmetrical, which I think I enjoy. Honestly, I could work with that. I could totally work with that. The idea with this is that we have a lot of this kind of stone foundation going along, and we also have a lot of stone everywhere else. So this allows me to kind of take out this section right here and just use a different block just to break up all of the, you know, sameness of the colors. Same goes for this section out here. And I think with that, we have the outline of an adorable little bakery. Now all I gotta do is basically color it in. So I need some walls and I need a roof. This is the fun, easy part. Let's time lapse it. Something that's been bugging me about this whole situation. The whole time I was building that, it was actually a little hard to focus because I kept thinking about that. And, you know, the physics of this just don't make a whole lot of sense. And I was thinking, what could I do with this tower, right? You could bring the tower all the way down to the bottom, and that could look really cool. Or you could fix the terrain a little bit and make like a cool cliff. Or maybe you could do some sort of combination of both. And I think that's sort of what I'm gonna go for today. I've got a bunch of stone on me, and I just wanna fix this. I just want it to be not like this anymore. It just looks a bit silly, and I think we could do a lot better. Would something like that just kind of help things look more supported? I feel like it would. I feel like it definitely would. Is that looking better? You know what? It's very simple, but I actually think that kind of fixed it. Obviously, we could do a lot better with the details and the texturing and things, but just that small little bit of support, genuinely, it might have fixed it. We may not need very much more than that. I thought this was gonna be like a whole terrain thing, but actually, I should have fixed this months ago. Just gonna see if I have any blocks that I could maybe texture things with a little bit. Yeah, maybe some andesite, maybe some tuff, and maybe some mossy cobble if I have any. It's not much, but I actually think that that's a really big improvement to the village. We definitely needed that. And now we can work on the terrain all around here, of course. I want to make this a little bit more accessible to the villagers, especially this area back here. After all, I want to have this bakery have a couple of villagers working in it, the same way that we have our smith's house over here with everybody working inside. At least I think everybody's working. Oh, it's bedtime. My bad. Right, don't mind me, just gonna sleep on the bench. Yeah, so in the blacksmith's house here we have Cyrus and Herbert. And I would like to also name our farmer villagers who are going to be working in the bakery. And obviously if we're gonna have farmer villagers working in the bakery, we're gonna probably wanna have some cute little gardens around here. Like I could just picture the bakery owners just tending a small tomato garden or something. Minecraft really needs more vegetables added to it. Hello, fisherman. It's not gonna be your building. You have one already. It's down by the docks. Let's go ahead and grab some water and plot out a couple of those small vegetable gardens to go around the bakery here. I feel like right here we can have like a little bit of a path just marked out just to get along around the back. And then we can probably do something in this section. So you force the path to go this way a little ways, and then maybe we just hide our bucket of water under here. Put a slab so you can't see it. There we go. I feel like it doesn't have to be a huge garden. Something like that definitely could work. And I want to plant beet seeds because I absolutely love how they look, and it really doesn't have to be that functional of a garden, but I will also save some wheat seeds and maybe just do a wheat garden on this section over here so that the villagers can also get bread and breed and stuff. For this one, I'll put my water right there, and let's cover that up once again with a spruce slab and a hay bale on top. Still need to wait for things to grow in, but I think this is adorable as a little vegetable garden around back. I also want to surround this building in a lot of flowers, especially on that edge and this edge over here. But for now, I think my next bit of focus needs to be on the interior so that I can actually move some villagers in. First things first, we definitely need some doors. A front door and also a side door right here for the people working on the outdoor market. And we're also gonna need a torch in there. Don't want any accidents. Now I have to figure out how to lay out this interior. And it's a little bit tricky, mostly because of this window right here. So if I put the floor where I want to put it, which is here, it kind of blocks off the window. And I don't know if I like that. So maybe I move everything up by one block. Might be a little weird, but I feel like in this instance, it actually works. Now, before I can move any villagers in, I'm gonna need to put in some actual windows. And then we gotta figure out our interior. Now the question is, do I want pink windows? I think the answer to that question is almost always yes. There we go. Windows are in. It is now a villager-safe house. I think. I hope. Let's find out, shall we? Where exactly are my farmers? Here we are. Look at you. Oh, I didn't have that one locked in. Hopefully you'll follow me down here. Please? He's thinking about it. Come on. Oh, no. Okay, it's fine. They'll figure it out, I'm sure. I'm gonna put one of the workstations here so that one of the villagers kind of hangs out in this area. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, and then I guess I'll put the other one in here so we can have this be like an indoor kitchen area for them. And if we wanted a third one, I suppose we could have somebody working in the gardens back here. But I'm gonna leave it for now because if villagers hang out in here, they're gonna trample the crops. They always do it. Okay, now that we've got lots of time to get to know the villagers, let's finish this interior. I decided to go for a functioning bottom floor looking like a bakery and kitchen area where the farmers generally work. And then upstairs, I decided to go for more of a lived-in space with the bedrooms and living rooms and things like that. I am so pleased with how our bakery came together. It's so cozy in here now. And to celebrate, I really want to give my two farmer villagers some very special names. This is gonna be a throwback all the way to, I think, my very first hardcore series. We are going to be naming them Barbara and Pierre. All right, now I just gotta find the villagers. Hello, you're a farmer expert. You shall be Barbara. Oh, I love it, I love it. Okay, now I just need to figure out who's taking up the other composter because I don't think anybody else has stuck around in here yet. They're finding the pathing a little bit difficult, I'm noticing. I kind of need to wait for this unemployed guy to make his way down there. Do you know what? Just to help with things, I'm gonna finally get rid of some of the villager structures that are up around this outside area. Okay, there's nothing in there, and I don't think there's anything in here either. Yeah. But the villagers are still spending a lot of time up here, which I don't necessarily mind. You know, we've got our leather worker working over here in the barn. Yeah. There he is, in there with Lavender and Rose. I just think since we're so close to fully transforming this village, I just want to get rid of these 3 structures here. We don't really need them, and they're kind of acting as more of a distraction for the villagers than anything good. I want to encourage the villagers to be down there in the center of things. Oh, I took away your lectern. I'm so sorry. I'll put it somewhere important. Oh, nope, not there. Where do I put this guy's lectern? You know, maybe just right there for now. Barbara really struggles with the pathing. No, you can't jump. You can't. Why do you want to jump over this fence instead of taking the stairs right there? Villager AI genuinely confuses me so much. Stop that. I'll switch these on this side. Now it's like you sit on this bench looking at the view, which still makes sense, and it stops making their AI be all buggy. Okay, anyways, now that Barbara's on her way to the bakery and we're still waiting for Pierre to take up residence, I'm going to get to work and, yeah, take down these 3 structures, as I just mentioned. Good news, after all that, I found us a Pierre, and I'm locking you in, dude. I am locking you in. You're Pierre. Now all I gotta do is show Pierre where he lives, which is more difficult than you would think given how into the librarian he is. Come on, dude. Come on. Up here with Barbara. Yes, brilliant. Welcome. This is your bakery. Come on in. Working with villagers is not always a rewarding process, but I trust that Pierre will eventually figure it out. Yeah? Yeah, you going in there? Yes. Okay. Brilliant. Finally, Pierre's in the kitchen. Gosh, that only took like way too long. Right, I guess that means everybody in this village is all settled away. Ignore the fact that they still sleep on the benches. I promise I gave them beds. They just prefer to sleep out in the moonlight, I think. I'll add it to the lore of the village so that I don't have to worry about any more villager AI. I'm gonna sleep in my house, because I'm not a villager. And as for this area where we took down the structures, the chickens are very excited about it, as you can see, and I'm actually really happy about this as well. I don't feel the need to construct much else here. It felt really cluttered before, and I like that the chicken coop and the barn are on the edge of the village, and then the main bit of the village is down there. That feels correct. Something I may do, though, is just tidy up a few of these trees and maybe correct this path here. This is the path that was naturally generated here, but it goes nowhere. Maybe instead we can curve the path in towards our Iron Farm castle. Let me just connect up a little path right about here, and we'll curve it this way, past the do you want to be free? There you go. Yeah, just pass this way and give it kind of a natural curve. That'll be lovely. And now in order to get rid of this, I'm just gonna replace it. I feel like I'm just fluttering around the village right now like a little bird, picking at all of the different things that I've sort of neglected, such as random torches. Now, a village like this needs a lot of random torches because you really don't want anything bad to spawn. However, we all know a good alternative to torches is simply a lantern, and we could certainly do with some more lanterns, although, I mean, I do have some. I have some. There could just be a few more, though, you know? Yeah, that's better. Wonderful. I feel like we made fantastic progress today. Couple of new villagers hanging out, few new structures around. I fixed up a ton of little things around here. Oh, there's still more to go. And I'm really excited to be back into this world, and I hope that you are too. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone!